Hey guys, it's Heidi. Welcome back to my channel. And I've got you propped up on a set of drawers that I'm busy sanding down a little bit to make the drawers slide a little bit easier in and out. Um, yeah, this might cause a bit of a, yeah, it's going to make you bounce, so let me not do that. Um, yeah, I don't even know if I'm using the right sandpaper. Anyway, um, okay, let's just do a short video and then I'll get back to my sanding. I'm in the process of turning my dining room into a craft room. So I've got some drawers for the papers, and I also got some fruit boxes, which I'm going to paint or something, make them look a little bit pretty. And that'll be for envelopes and stamps and what have you. Anyway, yeah, my friend sent me a little cartoon video clip, whatever. I forget now the name of it. I think it's all secret to a long marriage or something like that. Anyway, something along those lines. I may not have that perfectly correct. And I was listening to typical conversation that'll go on between a husband and wife, and especially ones that have been married for a very long time. Now, me personally, I look at things from both perspectives, from the husband's perspective as well as the wife. Now, I used to get really irritated with my husband because when I used to go get spares for him or I had to go somewhere, I would always kiss him goodbye and tell him that I loved him. And I used to get upset with him because he'd sometimes say, I love you too, but sometimes he'd get really irritated. And one day he said something, and I looked at him and I said, listen, if something happens either to you or to me, then at least the last words you heard me say to you was that I loved you. Right? And he didn't think much of anything. When he had his heart attack, I was not here. So, yeah, I think that might have scared him into realizing what I was talking about. But anyway, let's get back to what's my personal thoughts on marriage and this, just my own personal thoughts, right? Now, I've been married twice, and the first marriage didn't last very long. But it lasted about just over 2 years. So I thought, no, I'm not doing this anymore. And my second marriage lasted until my husband went home to heaven. Anyway, the thing is, I just find that if a wife, okay, let's start with the husband. If the wife cooks a meal, right, a decent meal, and he has his meal, he enjoys his meal, he says, thank you, the meal was nice, I really enjoyed the potatoes, or whatever, whatever, whatever. Compliment your wife when she makes an effort to put a meal on the table. Even if she goes and buys the meal, doesn't matter. Just compliment your wife on a regular basis. Find something nice to say about her. You'll have a lovely dress on today. Your hair looks exceptionally beautiful today, or whatever. I mean, just small things. She appreciates things like that. And wives, you're not off the hook. You're really not off the hook. I have a very dear friend, and I love her to pieces. I really do. She sometimes watches my YouTube channels. Most times she doesn't. Um, but you know what? She's forever complaining about her husband. Now, that's to me. Now, I don't know if she complains to me because she knows that I'm not going to say anything to anybody. Um, and I'm not going to tell you who she is because I have a number of married people, married friends. But, you know, if you're going to keep complaining about your husband, You know, he's forever doing things for other people, but he's never got time to put the shelf up for me. You know, it's the same with me. I asked my husband to please make me a bookshelf. I was going to go buy one. He said, no, you'll make one. I waited 6 years. And after 6 years, I decided, you know what? He's not going to get round to doing it. I'm not saying anything anymore. So I went and I saw a guy that I knew, him and his wife, and I asked him to customize a bookshelf for me. Gave him the sizes that I wanted. Um, it needed to be about 1 meter high by 1 meter wide. And however he felt like making the bookshelf, but yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted. I said nothing fancy. I gave him some money. He gave me a price. I gave him half the money. I said, well, there's the deposit, and I'll give you the balance when you're done. Anyway, so he delivers the thing to my house. And my husband was here and he helped him offload it. And I still said to this guy, I said, wait, let me just get you the rest of the money. He says, no, what you gave me was more than enough for what I've done here because I've just used scrap wood. I was quite happy. I mean, the scrap wood turned out to be beautiful. Anyway, so when the guy left, my husband said to me, my darling, I told you I was going to make you a bookshelf. I looked at him and I said, my sweetheart, I have been waiting 6 years. My books are still in boxes. They need to get onto the shelf. And then he got all embarrassed. So, yeah, you know, you don't have to keep bitching and bitching and bitching about stuff. You know, just ask 3 and 4 times. If he doesn't get time to do it, just make another plan like I did. And I went and bought a bookshelf. Right? Yeah. So don't always be complaining about your husband. You know, he's always got time for everybody else, but he's got no time for me. He's always got spending time on his phone, you know, and he's always taking the dogs for a walk, and he's always doing this, and he's always doing that, and he's got no time for me, and blah, 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 fresh post, and all the rest of it. You know what? Stop speaking that nonsense over yourself. Really, and start speaking kind words over your husband. Start encouraging him. Start lifting him up. Because what happens when you keep bitching about your husband and you keep complaining and you say to him, you know, you literally say to him, you know, you've got time for everybody else, but you've got no time for me. You always on your phone and you're never listening to me. You always got time for the dogs and no time for me. And you bitch and you bitch and you bitch and you bitch. What are you literally doing? You are literally pushing your husband into the arms of another woman. Don't do it. I'm serious. Do not do that. Change your words. Change your attitude. Yes, he can irritate. I mean, if I talk to somebody, I have a friend that comes and visits once in a while. And when she's here, her face is stuck in her phone. And one day I looked at it and I said to her, I said, are you visiting your phone or are you visiting me? You know? And ever since then, she never brings her phone into my house. Or if it is, it stays in her handbag. She doesn't take her phone out anymore. No? Just, you can say something, say it once, say it twice, and leave it alone. Don't keep harping and harping and harping, because when we start nagging, and this is for husbands as well, if you keep complaining about your wife, it's like I asked my husband one day. I said to him, I said, my darling, do you prefer me with makeup or without makeup? You know, yeah, I don't really put too much makeup on. Sometimes I do, but most times not. It's just generally base and eyeliner and lipstick, and that's about it. And he says it doesn't matter. I don't care. So I looked at him and I thought, you don't care what I look like? It's your wife. And I told him as much. And I just left it alone. So ever since then, I only wear makeup when it's cold. When it's hot, I don't put any makeup on. Anyway, guys, yeah, I need to get back to sandpapering these shelves. I've got a bookshelf here that been around. Let me show you. Oops, turn it up. Yeah. Um. Yeah. So I've got. It's actually an old cupboard that I took the doors off, and then I've got a plank right on top. That's why I've got one, two, three, four fruit boxes there, and then three there, and then two at the bottom. Um. Yeah. So I need to get everything sorted out. There's still magazines there that need to be sorted out. And all this stuff here, I need to get that cupboard sorted out. The top is sort of okay. Anyway, yeah. So, uh, so that's what I'm doing today. Um, yeah, I started doing a video last night. I'm just trying to think what it was about, and then I thought, no, I'm too tired. I'm gonna. I'd rather wait until today. And I was thinking now when I was busy sanding um, these shelves so that the drawers can slide in and out nicely. I was thinking I need to do a video and I don't really know what to talk about today. And yeah, then my friend sent me that video. Anyway, guys, I really do love you. All my friends that watch this YouTube channel, I really do appreciate you. I really do love you. And when I say things to you personally, right, just know that it is said in love. It really is said in love. I mean, it's like my other friend. I found out what my nickname was from her the other day. I went and had lunch with her at a restaurant downtown here. I will not be ordering chicken schnitzel from that restaurant again. That chicken schnitzel was horrible. But she had oxtail, and that oxtail looked really good, and she said it was lovely. So I said, okay. Anyway, yeah, she calls me Mrs. Dictionary. She's trying to have a conversation with me, and she'll say something, and I'll answer, and then I'll give the explanation as to why I answered her like that because she kind of looks at me and thinking, "Now, why did you say that?" or whatever. Um, or maybe she didn't quite understand what I meant by it. Yeah. Anyway, but she said it in love, and she knows that she's my friend, and she can tell me she loves me enough to tell me the truth. And I love my friends enough to tell them the truth. I really do. And if people are offended, well, then you know what? You need to deal with it. You really need to deal with it and don't let people offend you. Anyway, guys, yeah. Okay, lots and lots of love. I'm going to end off now because I need to finish here. And I'm on the blessing run this afternoon. So that means I've got to go pack boxes again and do a few deliveries. And yeah, um, yeah, we've got a water crisis here. And we are only allocated 6,000 liters of water a month. And there are 9 people living on my property, including myself. So that gives us 22 point something liters per person per day. That's to do everything. That is to cook with, that is to shower with, it's to wash your dishes, it's to wash your clothes, it's to do everything. So it is very tight. We do have rain tanks. So I'm going to limit the showers to just a few minutes. I mean, a person can shower within 3.5 minutes max, especially if you're washing your hair. You can just do it quickly. You don't have to take your time. No, wash, get done, finished. Anyway, so I'm just thinking that I'll put the pump on for 5 minutes. Say, okay, I'll have a shower schedule, and yeah, also for washing of the clothes and stuff like that. We also use rainwater, and they got to use the economy setting, and They must have the washing in the washing machine ready to go. So when we switch a pump on, they can switch the washing machine on and they can start it. So we'll give it 5 minutes, um, about 10 minutes longer than the actual cycle because of the loading of the water and the draining of the water. Anyway, it's things that I've got to work through. And yeah, anyway. Okay, guys, lots of love. Bye.